welcome to another one of my tutorials. As you can see from my pictures, I'm starting on Ariel's dress from The Little Mermaid. This is the blue one this time. This is probably maybe quite simple for me in comparison to the other costumes that I've decided to tackle. You have to forgive me if this tutorial is a little rushed in places because I've got like 7 weeks to get this done in. And in between work that can be a little tricky, but I'm sure I'll do it. Now, to make the blue blouse underneath, I fished out this old pattern of mine from a couple of years ago or so. New Look 6732, and I know it's a blouse pattern, but what I've done on my mock-up over here is, instead of the front being in two pieces as on a blouse and the back being all one, I did the front on a fold and the back two pieces, although the original pattern piece is to do it on a fold, I just cut them two and split it down the middle, leaving extra just in case by the time you get to the end and it doesn't fit because there's not enough fabric there to reach right round the back of you. It's got some darts in this particular pattern which, although it won't be seen, I thought it added a little bit of nice shaping to it, and there's some darts on the bust as well. And over here I have the sleeve. So this is where I'm going to start. It's always important to do a mock-up first, especially with costumes, and especially with the more complicated ones we have done, because you want them to look nice and you want them to fit properly at the end. And it always helps when you've got a helpful person like Mother who knows how to fit it on you properly. And Mother's always come in handy like this. Anyway, back over here I got my pieces. Like I said earlier, this is actually the back piece. No, sorry, it's the front. I do apologise, folks. This, as I say, just timing on this one, but I do like to video my stuff as we go along. So this is the front, and I've done it on the fold. Instead, it would normally have been cut down there, so you've got two pieces left and right for your blouse if you were following this pattern. And then over here you've got the back. And as you can see, I've left extra down the sides just in case. I'm actually going to have a zip opening on this one, and I left a little bit more at the bottom just in case, but I can imagine half of this will be coming off anyway because I'm actually going to attach my skirt to the top, but we'll get round to that later. Anyway, what I'm going to show you first is how you do these darts and what these little circles are for on the pattern, like so. And what I've done here, these are called tailor's tacks, and we'll just explain to you now how to do them. Okay,
how to do a tailor's tack. First of all, you need to double your thread on your needle, but don't put a knot in the end. Just make sure that they're level. Then the tailor's tack that we're going to use is this one here. So go through all the levels of the fabric and just do one small stitch. Now as you pull it through, you stop about 3 centimeters short of the stitch, then go back into the stitch again, and now we're going to create a loop like that. Let me just cut that off at about 3 centimeters. Now usually you will wait until you've done all of the tailor's tacks that you need to in the positions, but I'm just going to show you on this one how you actually finish. You carefully pull it through the paper pattern. Just move that out of the way. Okay, you pulled it through the paper pattern, so now it's through there. Then pull your fabric apart to about there and then cut halfway. There you go, that's your tailor's tack. So that would be your mark on this side of the fabric made and your mark on that side of the fabric made, so that you know where your dots will be. You want me to do that?
Okay, I've now done all my tailor's tacks and all my marks are in place, like so. This is what it should look like after you've cut through, as we've just shown. So you know where to do all your darts. And I've got my back pieces here, all my marks on, like so. The fabric I'm using is a very pale blue, I'm sure it's cotton, but it feels very crepey. It's very ripply, almost like a crepe fabric. It's got a lovely drape and ripple to it, just slightly weighty, and probably like you'd see a lady's blouse is made out of. And really nice, it's sort of floaty at the same time. I bought most of my fabrics on my dress from Abercan Fabrics, which is in Mostyn in North Wales, England. Next we'll show you how to do the actual dart.
Okay, now we're going to sew the darts. This is the top mark for the dart that comes down in this direction, and this is the mark for the dart that comes in this direction. So we'll start with this one first. Fold your fabric so that your tailor's tack is right on the edge. Then go down to the bottom and fold the fabric again so that your tailor's tacks are directly opposite each other, like that. So we'll just pin that in place. And then the middle tailor's tacks, as you fold it there, should be directly opposite, so just like that. Right, I've just roughly tacked it in place, pinned it in place, but what you'll need to do now is to tack down that line. You don't have to be too close to it, and then we'll do all the other darts exactly the same.
Okay, I have now sewn my darts. I've done the side one, this side, and that side, and the ones that go straight down from the top to the bottom, like so. And this is what it should look like after you've finished. You see you've got your two there, and then the two side darts, and they look exactly the same on the back piece as well. Here we go, this is the back one. Now of course I have my other back one as well, so you've got two sides. Okay, next what we did is we pinned the shoulders together, only pinned, and then I actually put it on properly. Mum pinned it in place round the back, and we redrew where we wanted the scoop to go and how low I wanted it at the back. And the next thing we're going to do is actually sew the shoulder seams. just along the top there, on each side. And then I'll have to explain how we do the facing, so I'm going to be having a facing on it, and we'll show you that in a minute. Okay, ideally, we're thinking back now, we should have done the facing before we sewed the shoulder seams, but as we've already done that now, we're just going to model through this way. So what I've done here is I've placed my top, the front piece, onto some scrap fabric the same colour and type underneath, and we've pinned it down in place, as you can see, and then I've got a pencil, and starting from about there each side, I've drawn a line. Can't actually see it very well here, but I've drawn a line very faintly all the way around. So now that should more or less match the scoop there, and we just take it up a bit further past your shoulders because that'll be turned under as well. And we're also going to make it 3 centimetres wide in from the edge to there. And then I'll just go ahead and cut that out. Okay, that's what my piece of facing now looks like after I've cut it out. Okay, we're now going to create the back facing, and we do exactly the same as I did the front, except because the back is in 2 parts, I've got my fabric and I've doubled it over to make 2. And then again I've pinned it down and drawn a line, made a mark here and here just past the shoulder seam, and then again I'll be making it 3 centimetres wide and cut it out. Okay, here's my finished interfacing pieces. You've got your front and the 2 back pieces. I'm now going to join my seams together on each side, here and here. Okay, my trim facing was sewn at the sides as previously said. I've also overlocked the edge, make it nice and tidy. I am now pinning it onto the front of the top, or bodice, whatever you wish to call it, making sure all the edges meet up all the way around. It's slightly tricky, but it's not too difficult. Then I'm going to be tacking this all down, taking the pins out and then sewing it. Okay, I've now sewn my piece of interfacing down on the machine all the way along. The next thing I'm going to do is get my scissors and clip, as shown on my other videos. Clip your corners, but not through your sewing line, otherwise all your stitches will come undone. Okay, I've now clipped into my corners. This will help it bend over more easily, because in a moment we'll have to turn it outwards, like so, all the way around. Okay, I have now turned my interfacing the right way out, like so. But at the moment, we've also given it a press with the iron, I forgot to say. At the moment it's still a bit loose, so what I've got to do is go back to the machine and sew a line roughly where my finger is, just so it sews it down and stops it flapping up and moving about. Okay, we're now going to start on the sleeves. This is my basic sleeve shape. to start with, along the top, I've run a gathering stitch from the notch there, as it says in the instructions, all the way around the top to the other notch on that side. You just leave a tail because you're going to be gathering it in a bit. First of all though, I have to get my halfway point at the top of the sleeve. And then we'll just show you how to do that. Just simply fold your sleeve in half and put a pin in. Open it back out again, and there's your mark. And you have to do that on both sleeves.